MJ is out of the shower and eating some breakfast. I just wanted to go over the U-Haul rental agreement real quick just to tell you guys how much we spent on that U-Haul. Okay, so it was about, the subtotal was about $158 just to rent the U-Haul. And then upon renting it, we also had to spend about $175 on gas. So it costed damn near $800 to bring our stuff just 6 hours back into the mountains to Springs. But we did sell our Thule box for $400. Unfortunately, the customer wasn't very happy about it, I guess. He came and loaded it up, paid cash, threw it in his truck, barely looked at it. I mean, everything was fine on it. We gave him 2 keys, and he's just like, oh, I'm not even going to argue on price. It looks so good. It looks perfect. Throws it in the truck, drives away. Must have got home to his wife, where his wife yelled at him for spending $400. And then he texted me back saying that he wanted all of his money back. He was going to call the police on us if we didn't give him a return, and that it was a smaller, discontinued box. But even though it was a full-size Thule box. But then he ended up stalking our Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube channel, only to comment a bunch of hatred, like things like we're a bunch of tweakers and he hates us and he hopes that karma gets us and all of these things. But the truth is, dude, if you're watching this video, it was your own damn fault. This is Vendura. Mint. No rise. What? Look at that big window. My gosh. What a sick van. I was just telling her we should go back in time and go with the Vendura, and she's like, no.
I said I wouldn't mind it. It's kind of cool. Oh,
They're
look at
really
this
cool.
side of it.
Oh my god. Look at that window. It's like custom as heck. MJ, what are we doing?
We are at
You look so hungover right there.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm so tired actually. We're at Rockledge Ranch Historic Site. I've never been here.
Please observe the following. Park rules. And dogs must be on a leash. And there are rattlesnakes. So let's check it out. In case of flood, climb to safety. That'd be intense. We don't know what to expect. So this is the historic site. Kind of gives you a map. That's pretty cool. There's Garden of the Gods right there. There's the barn. So we're gonna check this out.
Which often grows near water. It is spreading shrub which forms dense thickets. Coyote willows are noticeable, especially in winter, because of the contrast of the reddish color of their branches against the white stone. In spring, you can feel the soft catkins, which we call pussy willows. Indians use the long Aspens are the most widespread trees in North America and are very common in Colorado's higher elevations. Most of the feel the smooth bark. Aspen is the favorite food of the beaver. Elk eat the bark in winter, and it is also an important food for moose, deer, and porcupine. In the fall, you can see large patches of yellow on the mountain slopes where the aspen grow in large patches or stands. The conifer tree in front of you is a pinyon tree. Conifers are evergreens like those used for Christmas trees. Not all conifers are pine trees. They can be fir, spruce, or a number of other varieties. Pines have needles in clusters of 2 or more. These pinyon are at the northern limits of their range and are found in increasing numbers to the south. The seeds or nuts of the pinyon are good to eat when roasted and were used by the Indians for food.
Alright, what's coming up?
Okay, so according to the map, right here we have the Rockledge house, and then the general store is right here.
Oh, there's a sign here with another tree.
Ponderosa pine.
That's this large tree, which we see a lot of in Colorado. A ponderosa pine.
The tree on the south side of the walk is a ponderosa pine. It is the dominant tree of Colorado's foothills and mesas. Ponderosas can grow up to 150 feet tall and have trunks 3 to 4 feet in diameter. Dang. Look at a cluster of needles. Usually there are 3 needles per cluster, although sometimes you may only find 2 remaining. The ponderosa has the longest needles of any Colorado apple.
That's crazy. And we do see a lot of these while camping here, so that's kind of cool now that we know what it is. And this is the general store up here?
Yeah.
There's these really cool ponds.
Out of all of the farm animals that they have here, cow, sheep, chickens, I'm interested in the cat. Colorado blue spruce. This spruce has a bluish color to its needles, particularly the young new needles. It grows abundantly well here in Colorado and has been declared the Colorado state tree. Carefully feel the sharp needles on the branches. To some, the needles feel like a bottle brush. Well, what do they feel like to you? Take a single needle and roll it in between your thumb and index finger. The needle is square. You can remember a spruce because its needles are sharp and square. Interesting. Silver maple. The tree on the other side of the trail is a silver maple. The maple tree normally grows straight and tall to a height of over 100 feet. This particular tree is unique because it has multiple trunks. The maple is a good shade tree and was planted on Cedar Creek at the turn of the century. Native varieties of the maple can be found at trunks in the mountains and more features on the lake. Cattail. The marshland in front of you is a wet, soggy area that was once a pond. The pond became filled with debris that made more soil and gradually filled in. The most dominant plant life is the cattail. It grows tall and has broad, flat leaves with a brown area at the top that looks like a cat's tail. This flower stem is about 8 inches long and has a furry feel to it. I'm going to guess all the tops are
Broken, but we're familiar with these from Wisconsin.
absolutely.
So that's pretty cool. This is starting to look like one of those like haunted scenes from a movie. Whoa, whoa. You want to sleep in here for a night? This could be on the next Sam and Kobe. The most haunted place. What do you think you're gonna find in there?
Oh, it looks like it's something for your water, like your water.
Can you hear the rooster? Oh, there's a door inside the mountain.
Okay. You know what these are? Well,
To clean your boots.
yeah, takes all the dirt and mud, snow off. We used to have one.
Look at this thing. What's this?
What do you think this is?
I have no idea.
My bet would be.
Bunker.
My bet would actually be a nice shed. Because I don't see where you might have that.
Gonna hang your laundry.
Here, I'll read this though so we all know what we're actually looking at, okay? Rock Ledge Ranch Historic Site. Rock Ledge Ranch Historic Site is an educational, nonprofit living history farm and museum which depicts life in the Pikes Peak region from the time American Indians made their land their home to 1910. Several distinct periods of development took place on this property, and 2 significant historic structures remain on site. The ranch was placed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1979. Colorado Springs Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Services Department operates the site with assistance from the Rock Ledge Ranch Living Historical Association, a volunteer support group. Through hands-on demonstrations, tours, and exhibits, the story of settlement and use of the land by American Indians and European settlers is brought to life. Cool. So, Rock Ledge Ranch Historic Site. The land you are standing on was home to the Ute and other American Indian nations for thousands of years. Walter C. Galloway homesteaded here in the late 1860s, shortly after Robert and Elise Chambers purchased the land in 1874 and named it Rock Ledge Ranch. The Chambers family established one of El Paso County's most successful working ranches, providing the region with fresh produce through the turn of the 20th century.
That's pretty intense. That's where we're standing right now. What a beautiful recreation area. Truly, what a cool ranch.
This is pretty cool. I like stuff like this.
Me too. So we're coming up on the Native American farm here, which is pretty cool. They have some tilling land here, still freshly tilled. Don't really know what to expect when we're kind of just seeing these things, which is kind of cool. Should I put you in the corral, Sophie? You can corral ya? It's a guillotine. It's a big camp. Does the door open?
Lift up. Down. Nope. Door doesn't open.
Man, you can't look inside any of these places, which is also super.
Bums out because it's kind of like really cool structure, but I imagine maybe it's just too old to allow people inside anymore.
This is a cool oven.
Little mud oven. This looks like something my homie Chris would build out while camping. He'd be like, oh yeah, let's do this, guys. Let's just dedicate 14 hours to building our oven so we can make a really good pizza. That's how it's fueled. That's how it's fueled.
Yeah, I was checking to see if there's like a hole that goes through.
Yeah, we just tunnel the heat. Hole back there. You'd stoke her up. That's crazy. I'm like right in front of it with my shadow. Very cool. Looks like something we could build. I definitely would build this with living with little K in the woods. This looks like something we'd do, like just sitting up the mountains all day. 100%. Build this and then you park your van right next to it with the doors open in here, and this becomes your big living room. This thing's sick. That's how she cools down with the vest on.
What's up, Sylvie?
You just want to feel the snow, but you can't because the vest is on. Oh. Well, we're actually walking into Garden of the Gods right now. That's where we're headed. It's kind of a far walk, but Sophie's dragging us along. What are you doing, cutie? To 260 million years old.
I think it just caught you saying that.
Well, good. It's 250 to 260 million years old. Think about that for a second. That's an old rock. Look at this. You got this all wrapped around your head. Daddy and MJ are coming up on our favorite spot at Garden of the Gods. It's this nice look over. There's gonna be tons of people here. We're gonna get a good shot. Let's check it out. We are potentially sitting on a 300 million year old rock. This is a good spot. Thank you.
I have a little bit of vertigo.
At our friend's apartment from Garden of the Gods, and we're just going to be making some food real quick. We've got some devil's food cake that we'll be making, and I'm preparing that while it preheats and the water heats up for mac and cheese. So yeah, just a little cooking with Yeti and MJ, even though Yeti is way back there.